Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, tougher than like Knuckles, and like Sonic I don't chuckle, rather flex my this. I love Knuckles and have always thought that he deserves more respect. He is such a conflicted character right now, it seems like Sega has no idea what to do with him. But this isn't my Knuckles character analysis video, that video is in the works and is coming, but I thought we'd talk about the future of Knuckles. A place where Knuckles can truly become a bigger and better character because of proper writing, development, and just having a simple fresh start. Of course, I'm talking about his role in the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog movie sequel. Last month, reports broke that Knuckles will have a substantial role in the sequel. That's right, not an after credit scene, not a little cameo or a third act appearance. He will be a main character in this movie. We know slight details on his character, but we have no idea what his actual role will be. So the obvious question is, what will it be? Well, that's what we're here to do today. What will Knuckles do in the Sonic movie? What is his purpose and what can we take away from what's been set up so far in the first? Without any further ado, let's dive in and take a look. In the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, Knuckles was not there obviously, but he was very clearly being set up. The Echidna clan is in the Sonic movie 1. They are just flat out there, not an Easter egg, they're just there. Any Sonic the Hedgehog fan who watched that knows who those people are and that Knuckles is attached to them. What is the Echidna clan and who are they? Well, to put it simply, the Echidna clan is just a race of echidnas that lived for over 4,000 years ago before all the current Sonic the Hedgehog games and, that timeline. But after an era of war, they were almost completely wiped out by chaos, leaving only a couple of echidnas left along with Knuckles. Obviously, the rest of those echidnas died out, leaving Knuckles as the last remaining echidna. Now, obviously, this will be completely different in the movie. We actually know how different this is going to be based off of the first film. In the flashback scene of Sonic as a little kid with Longclaw, we see the echidnas. The most important thing to note is that Sonic was there when the Echidna clan was there, something that just didn't happen in any other form of media, because as I stated, the Echidna clan was around 4,000 years before Sonic. This is obviously very different because Sonic was around when the Echidna tribe was. In a handful of interviews on late night talk shows, cast members stated that Sonic is around 10 to 12 years old. While we don't know that for a fact, he is definitely younger, obviously, just by the way he acts in the movie. This is a younger Sonic, giving off a more youthful energy, meaning that the difference between the time that Sonic lives in now and when he was attacked by the Echidnas on his home planet, it's only been a 10 to 12 year difference maybe? Let's go with 10 just to keep it simple. If the people working on this movie decide to go with some of the continuity that's been in other media, that means that the entire Echidna tribe has to be wiped out except for Knuckles. And not just that, but in a span of 10 years. But how would this happen and who would be able to wipe them all out? Not sure. But you're gonna need to introduce Knuckles in a way to where his character matters in relation to Sonic. Is the Echidna tribe actually dead and they just send Knuckles on a mission to go get Sonic? Or maybe they are all dead and one of their last wishes was to obtain Sonic's power. So Knuckles goes on a hunt across the galaxy to go find Sonic. That's the one I'm gonna go with. I think somehow the Echidna tribe will be wiped out, whether it's by Longclaw, which I think is somewhat unrealistic, or a higher power within Sonic's planet that came down at just the right time. I think that's what they'll go with within the story. It gives Knuckles more purpose in the story, and it gives him a greater motivation for killing Sonic. I think somehow he'll be attached to this because they were after him in the first place, but perhaps some way he's framed for their death. Perhaps Eggman somehow gets involved in this and he gets on Sonic's planet by accident. These are multiple ways that this scenario in particular can go down. I don't have the movie script in front of me, but I highly speculate and guess that this is the stuff that will go down with Knuckles and will give him the purpose of being in this movie. I believe Eggman will be away for a decent amount of time. I think he will be a third act villain. I think for the most part throughout this movie, Knuckles will serve as the main antagonist until the third act, to where everybody has to take down Eggman, obviously. If this movie follows the scenario that I laid out, that means that Knuckles has a greater purpose to take down Sonic than in the first movie with Eggman. He has an actual connection to Sonic himself, not out of curiosity or the government. It's a personal thing, which makes it way more interesting, not only for the characters in the movie, but for the audience watching. Knuckles just makes so much sense to be in this movie, not only from a story perspective, but from a business perspective. Knuckles is a very marketable and recognizable character, one of the Sonic characters. When I say Sonic characters, I mean the cartoon animals Sonic characters. Think of all of the opportunities they'll have to slap Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles on the same movie poster, have Knuckles plushies, action figures, posters, all of that stuff. It's easy to merchandise and it will be great for marketing. Having Sonic opposite somebody like Knuckles or even just Tails when it comes to the trailers, TV spots, posters that are up in movie theaters, train stations, etc. will bring in a lot of interest not from just the general public, but from Sonic fans who may not be completely sold on a Sonic the Hedgehog movie series because it is so different from what we've gotten before. But that's why I'm so excited for this and Knuckles portrayal. I think it's going to be very different from what we've seen before. It's something that we need, it's a fresh start that Sonic is needed, and having long-form storytelling, this being the definition of that, allows for it. I want them to change things up. I want a different Sonic. I don't want the same old thing just in a different form of media. I want something new, and this movie series allows for that. Obviously, if they introduce Knuckles here, he's going to have to reappear in future movies. Sonic and Knuckles are obviously going to have to team up at some point, and not just that, but probably become friends if they want to continue using his characters in future films. You can't just go back to the same old villain. I don't think that's sustainable, and I think that you're going to have some kind of character arc, and I think the perfect character arc is him hunting down Sonic, wanting to kill Sonic, wanting revenge on his people, but then realizing that Sonic isn't to blame for anything like that. His pre-established judgment was his fatal flaw. His anger issues and gullibility got in his way, clouding his judgment and making harsh reactions. And then he can use his anger and power for greater good. Teaming up with Sonic and taking down Eggman, and the day is saved, the world is saved, and everything can go back to a hunky-dory day. Knuckles and Sonic become kind of friends, with some history obviously being there, and there's some kind of setup for the next movie with Shadow, I don't know. That's how I see Knuckles being set up, put in the movie, the reason for being in the movie. It just made a lot of sense with the Echidna tribe already being in the first, and all of the opportunities to sell tickets for simply having Knuckles on the poster. Knuckles is an amazing choice to be in this movie. I completely understand why he's in the movie, and this is what I think will possibly happen with him. I hope I'm right. I really love Knuckles as a character. He's one of my favorite Sonic characters, but unfortunately, he's just been misused, and it seems like Sega has no direction with this character or simple understanding of his character. I want to see a proper portrayal. I want to see him done right, and if anybody has the chance to do that, it's these guys. They reinvented Sonic's character, making him likable again. Somebody you actually like and can follow, and as a character, and he's relatable. It's unlike any Sonic we've had before, but it works better than any other Sonic that we've had before. He's not perfect, he's flawed, he's interesting. Kind of how a movie character should be, fleshed out. So not only being able to see Tails get that treatment too, with his horrible interpretations lately, but also Knuckles, who seems to have it just as bad, makes me so happy. And I'm so excited to see what they're going to do, and to see what Knuckles will look like. Knuckles being in this movie has put my anticipation through the roof, simply by the story possibilities alone, and I'm sure whatever they do with him in the story and his character will be amazing.
Whole lot of gang shit, whole lot of real